Hi, I have a few questions that I'd like to ask you, and if this pertains to you, maybe you can give me some answers. One of the questions that I'd like to ask is how did you take the term make America great again and turn it into a negative? You are really good at this mind control, so that you can change any narrative to fit you and your situation. But I have to ask you, what about that phrase? Is it the again part? Is it the America part that made that term racist? I just have to ask you that. So let's keep going. Let's ask about racism. How are you using the term race or racism to control almost every narrative, things that have nothing to do with race? How did you do that? How are you so good at creating your own narrative to make people not even think common sense things? How did you do it? Then I want to ask you, how did you even use the term, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black? How did you do that without every HBCU, every black organization, every religious organization, all of these people? How did you make them still support you after you made that type of comment? I just have to know. And then next, how did you do a bill that violated everyone's civil rights in 1994 that sent black men to jail in exorbitant numbers for minor drug offenses like weed possession? How did you do that and the people still support you now? How did you do that? That is amazing that those same people, when black communities, black families were totally robbed of their future because they did not have a man in the house because he was serving a lifetime sentence for minor drug possession. How did you do that? Then how did you put vasectomy and abortion bans in front of your national convention? And all of the black pastors that were at that convention, all of the Christians that were at that convention were not just totally livid. How did you do that? How did you project to these same people that abortion was the main thing that we were facing right now? It was the most important issue or challenge that black Americans had, or Americans in general. How are you pushing that agenda? And everybody is not just up saying, you are so out of touch with the American people when you think that is our main challenge, when we cannot go to the grocery store and spend $100 and get one piece of meat. How did you do that? That just blows my mind. I'm still asking, can you please tell me how you got that done? And then how did you bring in illegal immigrants and you ignore veterans, and you know that it takes a vet 2 years almost to be declared disabled, and it takes them 2 years if they want to increase or update their disability, but you give people that walk into our country without anything, without any ID, and you give them VA benefits. Tell me, how did you do that without veterans just being in an uproar right now? Please tell me that. And then how are we in wars right now all over the world and you very seldom mention it? How are you not mentioning every day what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on in Lebanon and Yemen, and I can keep going and keep going. How are you not addressing that and you still have supporters? Also, the last thing, how did you get this term misinformation, a very subjective term that just started in the last couple of years, being something that controls how people respond, how our law enforcement and everyone responds to people? How did you start using that term and using it against people? I just have all of these questions. Please answer it. Thank you so much. I don't know how you did it, but you're really good at it.